Good evening. Welcome to the locker room. Glad to be back. Hope you had a great June. And David Queener, it's high school football time is serious business now.
Just a few more days of dead period left. They'll be back at it. I think right after July the 4th ends the dead period. We'll be cranking.
So
we're ready to go.
It's cranking. It's if you're not getting ready now, it's
too late.
It's too late. Had some special guests flown in tonight from San Francisco. We got the offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers with us here tonight, Greg Roman, and his two sons, Gregory and Connor. And Greg, first of all, welcome, and on such short notice, I know if it hadn't been for that private plane, we wouldn't have made it.
Well, thanks a lot for flying us in, Ron. We had a great flight on the private plane, boys, didn't we?
Yes, it was very good.
Yeah, we had a great flight. It's great to be back in East Tennessee, and it's great to be here tonight.
Well, thanks for coming by, Coach. I know you're on some downtime as we speak, and we appreciate you coming by. 49ers on a roll here the last several years, and I know you're thankful to be a part of that. Always sometimes difficult to get on a roll with an NFL team, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. We got a lot of different components. We have a great front office, really, really good coaching staff, and a great locker room full of players. So we got the ingredients, and as a lot of teams do, but I think the thing that set us apart is just how hard our players compete and every day. And we've got some great veteran leadership, which you have to have in the NFL. But we've been very fortunate, and going to make a run at the Super Bowl this year, and that's a lot. A lot of people talk about that, but it's something that's definitely within our sights.
I guess we'd be remiss if we didn't stop real quick and say one of the reasons that you're in East Tennessee is married to Dana Puckett, former Dana Puckett. So a lot of folks will remember her, and I'm sure she's told these guys about her basketball ability. But one of the better female basketball players to come out of the area, went to South Carolina and played. So we also want to thank Dana then for bringing you back to East Tennessee.
Without question, she was had a great career at Kingston, and best thing that ever happened to us, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, Mom. But great basketball player, and top 10, I believe, all time at Clemson in assists. So she went on to have a great college career. But we have a home here down south of Kingston in 10 Mile. So we get back whenever we can. But I know she's out there watching. You want to say hi to Mom?
Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom.
All right.
Guys, Connor, anybody else you want to say hi to?
Hey, Gigi. Hey, Papa.
All
And
right.
hey, Grandma, and hey, Uncle Matthew.
All right.
All right.
That's
Good job.
pretty well spoken there, but that'd get you off the hook tonight
Yeah.
too. Gregory, I know one of the things that you got a lot of things to do there. You've been wakeboarding since you've been home.
Yep.
You got pretty good at it, didn't you?
Well, a bit good.
Well, sure. You got up. That's a good thing.
On my first try, I did a bit good, better than I thought I would.
Well, sure. You did great, buddy. Yeah, I mean, that's a hard thing to get up on.
Well, it gets easier when you keep doing it.
It's fun, though, isn't it?
It's really fun.
And the main thing is you kept trying.
Yeah.
Greg, you also were with Jim Harbaugh at Stanford, and so you got a little taste of the college life. You had a great success at Stanford, and so you've been able to juggle between the two. A lot of fun in college too, and
It really is. I mean, winning is what it's all about, and we were able to get that program turned around at Stanford. Coach Harbaugh has done a great job wherever he's been, and he and I have had quite a bit of success. We're very blessed and fortunate to have had the success we've had and be associated with all the people we've been associated with. But yeah, the college game is, it's football. Football is football. The big difference is obviously the recruiting, and we were able to recruit quite a bit of talent out there. But the interesting thing when college coaches come into the pros, the one thing we got to explain to them is, now as you watch all these guys, you're going to want all of them, but you got to realize you're going to be playing against probably 90% of them. So it's very important in the NFL that small selection of players you're able to draft, that you get the guys that you want and that fit your program. So in college there's a little bit more wiggle room with guys that can be successful and not, and you can get away with a miss here, a miss there. You're never trying to do that, but there's a little bit more wiggle room there. But yeah, college and pro football. Football, in my opinion, is the greatest team sport there is. All sports are great for all of our young people to take part in. Put those iPods down and get out and play sports. But football is probably the ultimate expression of the team, and I'm very thankful to have been able to play it and coach it now.
Tell us a little bit about how you got started, where you played, and what it takes to break through the coaching ranks.
Boy, that's a great question. Now, I was a gopher for Paul Brown when I was a little boy, and my uncle actually wrote his autobiography with him and became a good friend of his. So I kind of got to be a little gopher for Paul Brown, who pretty much brought pro football into the modern era. So that was, as you can imagine, just mind-boggling for me. Ron, as you were around a lot of legends when you were young, and the impression it can make on you. So coaching was something I've always been very, very interested in. Read a lot of books when I was a young kid about it, and got a great opportunity to basically be an unpaid intern with the coaching intern with the Carolina Panthers when they first started. And basically it's one of those things that I saw as the opportunity to get my PhD in coaching, learning from some great coaches at the time. So what does it entail? Man, it entails work, hours and hours and hours of work. And but the more you put into something, the more you're going to get out of it. And I think the one thing that you have to understand while you're working those 18, 20-hour days is it's a people business, and it's all about how you interact with people, how well you can gel with people, how well you can teach people, and do it for 18 hours a day.
Wow. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Gregory and Connor here about what it's like to grow up around a NFL team. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
What makes Reno stand apart from the competition? Reason number one, personal service. Whether you come in or call in and place an order, our experienced staff knows your sport and your school, and we'll help make your purchase easier. Reno Sporting Goods.
Watts Bar Lake gear is here. WBL t-shirts, canvas bags, drink pouches, koozies, stickers, and flags are now available for purchase at the Roane County Visitors Bureau. T-shirts with a WBL badge come in sizes extra small for youth, up to 2XL for adults. Watts Bar Lake gear is here. Available at the Roane County Visitors Bureau, 1209 North Kentucky Street, Kingston. For more information, 865-376-4201 or visit roane.com.
You demand good old-fashioned service from your pharmacy, and at Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood, we not only give you great hometown service, but we treat you like our family. Live and Let Live Drugstore is now your source for great candy by the pound, too. Live and Let Live is also a great place for Time and Again candles and wax burner, Elizabeth Arden cosmetics and fragrances, Walter Powell hand-carved birds, and Contented Heart handmade soaps, lip balms, herbal teas, and more. We also have great gift baskets that can be made to order.
Visit us at Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood. Let us be your hometown pharmacy.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We buy it on the spot and we pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Stone Meadows is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
From Maine to Maui, thousands of high school students across the country are getting in on the action by volunteering in their communities.
Action teams of high school students are joining Volunteers of America and Major League Baseball players to help train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
It's easy to start an action team at your school, so you too can get in on the action.
Are you in? Get in on the action at actionteam.org.
Since 1987, Reno's has been providing East Tennessee with superior uniforms and equipment. With in-house screen printing and monogramming, we provide professional custom gear for athletes, coaches, and supporters. Reno's Sporting Goods, your team dealer.
Welcome back to the locker room, and again, glad to have you with us tonight, and glad to have you with us back after the summer break. And David, as we talked earlier, you know, you start riding around the high school field houses, and you start to see a lot of work already beginning on the fields. The Bermudas had great summer, lots of water, lots of humid weather, so it's growing great. Booster Club's already getting out. It's here.
Yeah, I seen something today on, I believe it was on the news, I heard on the news that Oak Ridge is trying to raise about $1 million to do some renovations to the stadium there with turf, a press box, and some other things they're wanting to do. So,
Alcoa,
once again, the Booster Club, they say Alcoa is just,
Alcoa spent $532,000 to buy the Jumbotron from Purdue University, put it up at Alcoa High School. They've already had the turf down. They've already built the new press box, the new weight room, locker rooms. So,
well, football's serious around here. High school football's serious around here. I mean, it's as serious as it is any place else. So
that's right.
It's really serious, and it's becoming a big business.
It is a big business.
It's a big business.
And again, thankful to have with us tonight Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, who just happens to have a summer place here in Roane County. So Roane County is, we're going to call it the home of Greg Roman, because he gets to spend the quality time there. And again, married to former Dana Puckett. So we're thankful that Dana was persuaded to get him back here in a small fashion anyway for a couple months. Also, Greg and Connor, Connor, I want to talk to you a minute about what it's like to have access to a professional football team facility. Must be an awesome experience.
Yes, it is very. It's really nice because you get to meet all the players. You get to get a ton of autographs. They'll give you tips if you ask them, and just really nice learning experience. And it's really cool to be able to have, just to be able to be able to do all that.
So I guess after a big game on Sunday, you sort of strut into school on Monday and sort of give them some inside tips of what happened?
Yes, sometimes. Yes, sometimes.
So it's sort of nice to be in the know then, right?
Yes.
And now you're going into the 5th grade?
Yes, 5th grade.
So, you're getting ready to start next year be in the middle school and start your own little athletic career, right?
Yes.
Well, very good. Very good. Gregory, how about you? Pretty awesome to run around and be amongst the guys that everybody sees on TV every day.
Yeah, it is.
And do you pick out, you have any favorites you try to hang around?
I don't know.
No, you just like them all, huh? Well, that's a good way to do it. But
he's smart.
He is smart. So you're close. You get to throw the footballs and be out after practice, and the guys I'm sure are really nice to you.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Good. And I guess a lot of guys at school sort of envious of you, huh? Asking, how about the 49ers? Anything like that? That's a popular team out there, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Good. New stadium now. You're going to get to go to a new stadium this year. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it getting built.
Oh, did you? How's it look?
It looks really good.
Good. Well, you're going to have to keep us posted now on what you're getting there. Now we'll have to put an order in for a chin strap or something. Can you come through for us?
Yeah.
Well, that's all we needed to know, buddy. I tell you what.
You'll take anything free.
And it's good to have you guys with us tonight. You're a big part of success because without you guys hanging in there, it's tough for Pop to be gone for as much as he is. So you guys are part of the success. You know, when he wins, you win, and when you win, he wins. So big part of that. But Greg, new stadium. San Francisco fans are crazy about a winning football team, and has to be awfully nice to sort of tool around town with after a big win.
Oh yeah, well, Candlestick Park had a lot of, it's got a lot of ghosts and a lot of memories, but it was getting old, and our ownership and Santa Clara County and everybody involved came through with an amazing new stadium. It's going to be, as you can imagine, in Silicon Valley. It's going to have all the bells and whistles, technological. Now I didn't know. That's amazing that Alcoa went and got that scoreboard from Purdue.
Yeah.
That's
well, they got a rivalry right down the road, being Maryville High School, that already got one. They didn't go buy one from a college, so they had to try to outdo them. So it's you're talking a lot of state championships there between.
Yeah.
Lord, I don't know how many.
Oh,
over 30 probably state championships between the two schools that are probably less than 5 miles from each other.
right.
So you got that many state champs. So it's a pretty big football's pretty big right there in that area right there.
No, I know that, and I knew that. I know when I was recruiting for Stanford and I'd come through Knoxville, the reputation of those two schools kind of, jumped out at you, and the amount of players that they were pumping into D1 programs was pretty impressive as well. But our new stadium, I think, are going to have the biggest and most high def, jumbotrons that there are and whatnot. So everybody's very excited about it, and the 49ers and the new stadium obviously is just going to bring that added excitement. I was a coach with the Panthers in Carolina when we opened up that stadium, with the Houston Texans when we opened up that stadium, and so it just brings an added level of excitement.
so you're gonna get to be an architectural designer for football stadiums then, right?
Nah, I don't know about that. Now, I know the guy that's in charge of building the stadium, and he actually built the Dallas Cowboys stadium prior. So great guy, always has his hard hat on, and really good guy. But it's in good hands, and I'm going to leave that to the experts.
You mentioned coming to Knoxville from Stanford, so obviously when these coaches say they're recruiting the whole country, it's literally the whole country, isn't it?
Oh, there's no question. When I was at Stanford, on Sunday I might fly to Minnesota, and then Monday night I'd fly to Cleveland, Tuesday night fly to New York, Wednesday night fly to Florida, Thursday night fly to Texas, fly back for a day and a half, and then go back out and circle the country again.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, and there are some schools that really do that, and I think it's more and more getting prevalent that teams are looking outside schools are looking outside their immediate geographical area, and I called them strategic insertions. I'd try to go find a couple guys in different states all over the country and just go try to get those guys, but it was definitely a lot of travel.
Do you have you had much contact with Butch Jones at Cincinnati or?
I've come across him, and it seems like he's doing a heck of a job here at UT. It looks like they've been really doing a great job recruiting the outreach to the alumni, and the fans here, and UT is such a it's almost like a religion, and it's so unique. So it seems like they got that fever pitch building up again. It's great for football. It's great for college football.
And obviously the dollars are there for the SEC this year splitting more money than they've ever split, and then the SEC network coming on in August, so there's going to be more money, and it seems like in college football the haves are getting richer, and of course, and the haves not continue bringing up the bottom.
Well, you know, the SEC is going to just keep competing, and you know, Alabama's had such a great run, and then Auburn's they've done a great job, and I think you know, it's going to be a little cyclical with some of these teams, and I'm sure UT will be right back up there here before we know it.
You know, when you look at the 49ers, you've been right on the cusp of a Super Bowl championship the last couple of years. It just shows that you can be so close but yet be so far away. And I mean, everything just has to sort of fall, and the stars have to align, and it's tough to do that.
There's no question. I mean, 32 teams are out there, and you know, everybody feels like they're doing the right thing, but at the end, you know, only a couple stand up there and have a chance to win it. And we've been fortunate the past 3 years to be right up there, and you know, all that does is give me even more conviction and hope for the future. And you know, we're very optimistic for this season, and you know, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of things that have to fall into place, but it's definitely well worth it. We came right down to the wire a couple years ago in the Super Bowl, and came down to a play or two in the NFC Championship game a couple other years, but you know, that is all that does is add to our excitement about what lies ahead.
Coach, what's the most pressure, college or pro?
Pressure?
Pressure-wise, or is it the same?
You know, I think pressure's something you put on yourself, and you know, external pressure is, you really just got to block that out. So, like for me, it's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
And I know we was talking before we come on the air. You were saying you put in about 18 to 20 hours a week. What was I never did ask a day, excuse me.
There you go.
Get that right. What did you do on the college side? Is it close to the same, or?
Very, very similar. Very similar. And you just got to divert your time a little differently, you know, with recruiting responsibilities. And, you know, recruiting's just something that every day you're doing in season, off season, all year round. So, you know, so more time in your day is spent recruiting, and there's probably a little bit less X's and O's in college. You know, in the NFL, it's a lot about X's and O's.
Okay.
You know, Coach, when you talk about going, and you guys came straight from Stanford to the 49ers, you'd had a good run at Stanford, wasn't much left to do there, but win a national championship, and again, that's sort of like winning the Super Bowl. It's really hard to do, especially from that conference. But you go straight to the 49ers and success there, and it seems like you know, folks either love or hate Jim Harbaugh, and folks would, I'm sure, are asking you know, how do you work for somebody like this that's so intense? But he must, you know, to be that successful, organizational skills have to be extraordinary. Yeah, he comes from a coaching family. Of course, and his brother's successful. So it's, you know, I think you've been 6 years together.
Yeah, so this is 6 years. Yeah, I mean, and boy, we've won a lot of games.
I was going to say, how many games have you lost during those 6 years?
Yeah, we've won a lot more than we've lost. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But we had some success at Stanford. You know, we played Virginia Tech in the Orange Bowl, and were successful there. And then we moved into the NFL, and we've won more games the past 3 years than anybody. So, Coach Harbaugh, you know, he does a great job on all levels of the organization, all aspects of leadership, and you know, I think it's this simple, really. Do you want to work with and for somebody that's intense about winning or lackluster about winning? I mean, that's what you want. It's all about, you know, winning, competing, and you know, Coach Harbaugh is definitely that. I mean, he is the ultimate competitor.
Coach, I got a text here from one of our listeners. He wanted me to ask if you was ever contacted about the UT job.
You know, I leave that to my agent. I don't get involved in all that stuff, but I was probably getting ready for a game at the time that coaching search was going on.
Okay.
But in reading, in reading Sports Illustrated and some of the NFL, I think probably, and again, that's probably the last thing on your mind is trying to get another job when you're so engulfed in trying to do the one you want. But it seems like every year with more success, your name is always mentioned in those things. And just to be mentioned, I'm sure is a nice thanks for the hard work and the hard job that you're putting into it.
Well, let me follow up. Do you want to be a head coach?
Oh, there's no question. I've wanted to be a head coach since I was getting tabs for Paul Brown, back in 1982 or whatever it was. But I am not in a hurry to do it. I've always felt like when you try to do the best possible job you can do at the job you have, great things will happen. And I don't want to be one of those guys that's always out there scavenging and then, shirking my responsibilities at my job.
Well, the guy that texts must know that his name must have been mentioned, or he wouldn't have sent me the text message.
One of the things though that you've sort of got a pattern of here is Paul Brown, Jim Harbaugh. I mean, pretty similar personalities, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think with both of them, it came down to winning.
Yeah, and don't leave the office. Don't leave the office until everything is complete.
That's exactly right. And Jim Harbaugh, his father was a very successful college coach. He turned around the Western Kentucky program. They won a national championship there, and it comes from a great pedigree of really his whole family. But he's also he'll think outside the box too. Just like Paul Brown did when he invented the face mask or the playbook, and always looking for a better answer. So there's a lot of things that I've certainly been able to take from both of those men.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and have some more conversation with the offensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers, Greg Roman. We'll be right back.
What makes Reno stand apart from the competition? Reason number one, personal service. Whether you come in or call in and place an order, our experienced staff knows your sport and your school, and we'll help make your purchase easier. Reno Sporting Goods.
Watts Bar Lake gear is here. WBL t-shirts, canvas bags, drink pouches, koozies, stickers, and flags are now available for purchase at the Roane County Visitors Bureau. T-shirts with a WBL badge come in sizes extra small for youth, up to 2XL for adults. Watts Bar Lake gear is here. Available at the Roane County Visitors Bureau, 1209 North Kentucky Street, Kingston. For more information, 865-376-4201 or visit roane.com.
You demand good old-fashioned service from your pharmacy, and at Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood, we not only give you great hometown service, but we treat you like our family. Live and Let Live Drugstore is now your source for great candy by the pound, too. Live and Let Live is also a great place for Time and Again candles and wax burners, Elizabeth Arden cosmetics and fragrances, Walter Powell hand-carved birds, and Contented Heart handmade soaps, lip balms, herbal teas, and more. We also have great gift baskets that can be made to order.
Visit us at Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood. Let us be your hometown pharmacy.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We buy it on the spot and we pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. Roane Metals Group, treat you like family.
Roane Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Herman and Rockwood.
From Maine to Maui, thousands of high school students across the country are getting in on the action by volunteering in their communities.
Action teams of high school students are joining Volunteers of America and Major League Baseball players to help train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
It's easy to start an action team at your school, so you too can get in on the action.
Are you in? Get in on the action at actionteam.org.
Since 1987, Reno's has been providing East Tennessee with superior uniforms and equipment. With in-house screen printing and monogramming, we provide professional custom gear for athletes, coaches, and supporters. Reno Sporting Goods, your team dealer.
Welcome back to the locker room. Glad to have you with us again. And again, we invite you to stay tuned with us. Friday night football games just around the corner, and we'll open up week 0 in Oliver Springs.
Big eyes.
So we'll be in Oliver Springs, and that will be just around the corner, August 22nd, I think, something like that.
Yeah, and I don't know if the Friday night scoreboard will be on it or not, but I know my man Marty will be back with me this year. He's got it worked out where he can come back.
Good
so
deal.
we got got us
Good
back.
deal.
So, Coach, offensively, I mean, everybody knows there's an offensive coordinator and there's position coach. How many coaches, as far as what, do you have a lot of assistants? I mean, is there a lot of people that we don't, I mean, that the average person might not know about? I mean, other than a line coach and a receiver coach and I guess a tight end coach, I don't know, maybe a running back coach. Do you have is there a quarterback coach? Is Harborough the quarterback coach, or is that you, or who is that? Or do you coach a position?
We do have a quarterback coach, but Jim and myself and the quarterback coach, we'll all work with our quarterbacks. You know, I think Jim's a big believer in that, and as am I. But we'd like to get a couple different voices, not too many, to the quarterback. But we definitely have a great staff, but I think you pretty much hit them all. And we all try to work together to come up with the best plans moving forward. But they're a very important part of the organization, and really every single coach is critical to the success of the team. You can't have one that's, you know, not up to snuff, and we're pretty fortunate we don't.
You have some film guys that break certain film down for you. I mean, do they do certain I mean, what's those guys? Those guys have time. They're just film guys, or they?
You generally have a quality control coach.
Quality control.
Yeah, and they handle a lot of the film breakdown, and then we have a couple coaching interns as well that you know, do a lot of those things, draw the plays in the playbooks, handle all that, you know, preparing all the game plan materials for the players, and you know, my goal is to always have people that are making decisions pretty much watching film. If they're not interacting with the players, they're studying film and not worrying about drawing this up or getting this playbook up or whatnot. They're more focused on studying the opponent and trying to devote as much time to that, to strategy, if they're not spending time with the players. So those, to answer your question, those interns and quality control coaches, which are like GAs really in the pros, they're very important to handle all that workload. They don't sleep very much, I promise you.
They would be you when you were a Gopher, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Just now they've upgraded to a name now, to a title.
Exactly, that's exactly right.
Coach, how hard is it to, like in a preseason, and you're trying to evaluate all the talent that you've got? How hard is it that if there's a guy that's he's number 5 on the depth chart, and he's still getting to go, and he's not getting much time? How hard is it to actually? Is it practice that he's getting more evaluated? Is it attitude during practice? Or is it somebody that's maybe special teams that y'all are looking at, the coordinator on the special team side is looking at? How hard is it to give all those guys? I mean, in preseason, because you're trying to get fine-tuned. I know you don't play a lot of your regulars towards the latter part of it because you're getting ready. Is it a hard? I'm sure it's a hard decision to make.
Yeah, that's a great question, and everybody's being evaluated at everything they do every day. And it might be in the weight room, in the meetings, in the locker room, certainly on the practice field. But a lot of evaluations take place on the practice field. And then you want to see if a guy, when the bright lights come on in a preseason game, does that change from practice? You know, is this guy just simply a gamer, or is it just the opposite? It's funny sometimes how those bright lights might change a player or two, but you're really evaluating them at all times, from the moment they step in the building till the moment they leave, and then how they conduct themselves off the field as well.
The Hard Knocks program that's on HBO, is that something that you'd like to be a part of? Come in and or would it be a distraction?
You know, if it helps us win, I'd love to do it. If it doesn't, I will have no interest in it.
Understand.
Coach, one of the big things that a lot of folks get immersed in is this draft, the NFL draft, becoming huge. And they call it the war room, and I'm sure it's called the war room because of the charts, because of the people, because of the confusion that's going on. But that's sort of like the college recruiting as well, right? The only difference is here you get to pick and choose who you want to bring into your organization versus having to go against all these other colleges and stuff and letting the athlete choose. But that has to be probably the most intense part of the job, isn't it?
Well, as far as the draft goes, you know, decisions are made in a time frame, and things change. Trade offers. You know, hey, those guys that we wanted just got picked. So, you know, I think certainly a lot of different things can happen on draft day, and you've got to have a plan and be able to react accordingly to it. So it's very different from recruiting in that respect. I mean, in recruiting, the players got the hats in front of them, and he's picking the hat. In the draft, we got the players in front, and we're picking the player. But it can happen. A lot of things can happen on draft day.
For instance, when you drafted your quarterback, that's who you knew that you wanted to fit your system, and that you could build a system around him.
Yeah, I mean, he stood out athletically as one of the rarer players in the draft, and you know, having worked him out and whatnot, he was a guy that we really felt had the potential that we could be just a multi-dimensional offense with. And he played in a mostly option offense in college, so we knew there'd be a little bit of time developing him as a pocket quarterback, for example. But we just saw him as a multi-dimensional threat, had great grades in college. We love smart quarterbacks. And, you know, going from Colin to Alex Smith, going back to Andrew Luck, we like guys that can think at that position because they have the keys to the car. And but yeah, that's it. You want to fit people into your system, but at the same time, you know, we're going to take a guy with whatever talent he has, and we'll adjust the playbook. Right. So it kind of works both ways there.
So conversely, these big linemen, that basically the difference is maybe their speed, their agility. What do you how do you differentiate between these guys?
Well, the big lineman, you want to see how a guy moves, how he moves in a short area, how he can control his body, change directions, and then obviously with those big fellas, you know, what kind of attitude do they play with? You know, are they the hammer or are they the nail? Do they love being the hammer? Do they have that attitude that you want at that position? And but you can definitely tell. I mean, when you look at all those big guys, once you get them moving and see their skill set there, you know, we like big guys that can move. We want to eat the whole pie. We don't want just quick guys. We don't want just big guys. We want it all. And we got a great offensive line out in San Francisco with a lot of big guys that can move and that play with attitude. So it's definitely something you got to study. You got to put your time in. And that's what we do when the season's over. I mean, we start grinding on college film. Our scouting department's already worked on it, certainly, and continue to work on it. But when the season's over for coaches, we take a week or two, and then, bam, we're right into just getting into the film. And we can, you know, I can generally look at a guy for, 10 plays and say, yeah, he makes the cut. Now let me dig a little deeper from there.
Coach, does the whole staff, or is it just the GM and the head coach on the final draft? Does the whole staff have some say-so in it, or get to put an opinion in, or does it really depend on what the needs are for the football team?
Oh, well, I mean, everybody's going to have their opinion, and at the 49ers, everybody's got a say, an opinion, and that's all weighed in. Ultimately, though, all these opinions are factored in, and then somebody's got to make a decision. Once we make a decision, everybody signs off on that decision, and now it's our decision. But we've got some great decision makers there, and Trent Baalke and Jim Harbaugh.
One of the things I think that a lot of folks get caught up in when you're sitting there and watching these games on TV, and they'll show the press box, and the group of coaches, obviously the defensive coaches and the offensive coaches, and you've got your charts, and you've got that has to be the communication between you and Harbaugh during those critical times. That's got to be nerve-wracking as well. And I mean, that's when you've really got to have your stuff together. It's too late. It's too late to think, what are we going to do now? I'm sure it's on that chart, the series of plays that you're for that situation.
Yeah, definitely. You pretty much have all that mapped out ahead of time. A great coach once said to me, the great ones adjust. So you have to adjust when necessary. You know, if plan A is not working, then you better have plan B, or else it's going to be a long day. But, yeah, you're always working for those moments, preparing for those moments. And I played 18 holes of golf today with Vic King, the great Kingston head coach. And we were talking about something like that today, riding on the golf cart, about you always got to have an ace up your sleeve to pull out at the right time. And now I haven't witnessed a lot of his games, but I heard he had a great reputation for pulling that ace out at the right time.
Had a lot of aces and a lot of wild cards.
Yeah.
But you know, and another thing that's become so much more sophisticated probably now than when you started is the software that when you're watching film that you can go now and probably check a wide receiver or a tackle that you couldn't do. You know, you used to have to watch probably the whole film and pick out your particular spots. Really sophisticated film work now.
Oh man, what a difference it is. I mean, I got to admit that it's made our jobs a lot easier and more efficient. I mean, you can once you enter all that information into the computer, you can break a game down however you want, by player, situation, whatever. It has really made it a lot more efficient. And, you know, technology can be good or it can be bad. In this regard, it's good.
But at the same time, you also have to be careful now on 3rd and 1 to do something a little different every time, or else when the other team's watching your game film, they go, I want to see 3rd and 1s. So you have to have a little variation in there, don't you?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, you don't have to look any further than us when it comes to variation. If you ask around about us, we're definitely going to mix it up on people, but we like to leave no fingerprints. But that's how we like to put it.
Coach, is the NFL game changing just with the way the different type of quarterbacks that's being recruited now? I mean, not where you've got the guy that's under center all the time. Now he's back in the shotgun. Is the game changing? Was it just dictated because of quarterbacks, or was it dictated because that's what needed to happen to the NFL, you think?
You know, that's a good question. I definitely think it's evolving, as it always has, but I do think you know, you can be successful either way, and by either way I mean a traditional pocket passer or, you know, a more mobile guy. But the reality of it is college football is developing these players, and however they are utilizing these players, you know, the NFL is going to trend in that direction. So when you see more spread type quarterbacks in college, there's going to be more spread type quarterbacks in the NFL, and that's just the direction the game of football is going.
Guys, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and get Gregory and Connor get their comments on some things. So be back. We'll be right back.
What makes Reno stand apart from the competition? Reason number 1, personal service. Whether you come in or call in and place an order, Our experienced staff knows your sport and your school, and we'll help make your purchase easier. Reno Sporting Goods.
Watts Bar Lake gear is here. WBL t-shirts, canvas bags, drink pouches, koozies, stickers, and flags are now available for purchase at the Roane County Visitors Bureau. T-shirts with a WBL badge come in sizes extra small for youth, up to 2XL for adults. Watts Bar Lake gear is here. Available at the Roane County Visitors Bureau, 1209 North Kentucky Street, Kingston. For more information, 865-376-4201 or visit roane.com.
You demand good old-fashioned service from your pharmacy, and at Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood, we not only give you great hometown service, but we treat you like our family. Live and Let Live Drugstore is now your source for great candy by the pound, too. Live and Let Live is also a great place for Time and Again candles and wax burner, Elizabeth Arden cosmetics and fragrances, Walter Powell hand-carved birds, and Contented Heart handmade soaps, lip balms, herbal teas, and more. We also have great gift baskets that can be made to order.
Visit us at Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood. Let us be your hometown pharmacy.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We buy it on the spot and we pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Herman and Rockwood.
From Maine to Maui, thousands of high school students across the country are getting in on the action by volunteering in their communities.
Action teams of high school students are joining Volunteers of America and Major League Baseball players to help train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
It's easy to start an action team at your school, so you too can get in on the action.
Are you in? Get in on the action at actionteam.org.
Since 1987, Reno's has been providing East Tennessee with superior uniforms and equipment. With in-house screen printing and monogramming, we provide professional custom gear for athletes, coaches, and supporters. Reno Sporting Goods, your team dealer.
Welcome back to the locker room. Glad to have you with us tonight. And again, we want to thank Greg Roman for coming in, the offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. You know, we spare no expense when it comes to bringing the folks here.
Yeah, Vic King
on
must pay
Channel
for him to
12.
come in because you didn't pay for it.
But I can guarantee if
Well,
you think
if
I'm
he-
tight,
let
if
me
you
tell you
think I'm
something, hold
tight,
it.
Vic King.
He might be tight, at least he's got it. But if he, I don't know how long he's known you, but if he gets to know you a little bit longer, he'll know that you're tight, real tight. Okay.
Oh no.
You
no,
know,
no,
you don't. You're the only guy I know that you
can't-
send him somewhere, and you want us to give you money to go. You don't give us
can't,
no money to go. He's
you
used to
can't-
getting probably some per diem or something somewhere along the line.
You can't put anything in.
And I heard him
his-
say
in his
something
head.
about watermelon.
Yeah.
But I also heard him say we really appreciate your wife doing the watermelon. I knew Ron Berry didn't do the watermelon.
Oh, yeah.
Your
Oh, yeah.
wife done the watermelon. I know about the Berry family.
Let's,
I know exactly what's going on. Yeah, let's move on.
Let's talk to Gregory
Hey, does
just
he
a
know
moment.
Peabody?
No.
Well, you need him. He needs
No,
to meet
no,
you.
no,
Your
he doesn't.
right-hand man,
no, he doesn't.
Peabody.
No, he doesn't need. He doesn't
Yeah,
need to meet him.
he needs to meet Peabody. Ledford.
Gregory,
my right-hand man.
Gregory, what? Now you coming back to East Tennessee and you know you're fixing to go to New Jersey, so you're traveling all over the country here this summer, aren't you?
Yeah, a bit.
And you know, now you're down on the lake, one of the best lakes in the whole country, and there you have access to all of this wakeboarding and tubing and jet skiing, and doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No.
I mean, for a man your age, you've got about everything you need at your disposal there.
Yeah.
And when I saw you jump in there and take off on that wakeboard the other day, you know, a couple more outings there, and you're gonna be top notch.
It's really fun doing wakeboarding because it also improves your balance.
It sure does. You could tell that the other day.
And when I got on the wakeboard, I thought it would be a bit, I wouldn't have to hold on, but I had to hold on more hard than I thought I would
sure.
have to.
Sure. Let's see. Well, we lost the caller there. We had a caller. Might have been Fireball on the line there, so maybe he'll give us the call back here. But you know, do you look forward? Is that one of the things you look forward to all years, being able to come back and spend a couple months there on the lake?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to that a lot.
Well, good deal. Good deal. Connor, how about you now? You've been in San Francisco now a couple years, and a pretty nice place to live in San Francisco, isn't it?
Yes, a very nice place.
Good. Lots to do.
Yes.
And you live there in the Silicon Valley, so a hot spot for computers and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. I mostly like about San Francisco and the Silicon Valley area is all those places to see and all the nice people there.
Good.
There are plenty of nice people there.
Now, you looking forward to going up toward New Jersey?
Yes, very.
So you'll take a few sights into the city, I guess, of New York while you're there.
Mm-hmm.
So not a bad gig, is it?
Nope.
Huh? And then come back and you'll have a few more weeks left on the lake before you have to head back.
Yes.
Well, good deal. Let's see who. Go ahead, you're on the air.
Hi, Ron Berry. How are you?
Well, I'm good, Fireball. How you doing?
Yeah, that's good guy from the 49ers. If they could get me one of the NFL game balls.
An NFL game ball?
Yeah, see if he can get me one.
Who would you want to sign it?
The quarterback.
Their quarterback? Oh, so you're a big fan of the quarterback, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Fireball, I'll tell you what we'll do, buddy. We'll try our best to see if we can maneuver that for you, okay?
All righty, buddy.
Anything you want to ask him, Fireball?
Hope they win this year
Well,
and get the Super Bowl.
That's you're talking the language that'll get you whatever you want.
Amen, Fireball.
Okay, buddy. We'll try our best.
All right.
Okay, Fireball. Thank you, buddy. Fireball listens every week, buddy, and he's a big fan. He tells me at church every Sunday during the football season, buddy, who's winning, and he's a 49er man.
We'll work on that ball for him.
Coach, as you look back now, you think that having your quarterback like you want is a big plus, isn't it? When you start a season.
It sure is. I mean, there's no question.
And
it's a
now
big piece.
you've got your wide receivers. Crabtree's probably one of the best in the game.
Yeah, he looked really good this spring. You know, he was coming off that Achilles injury last year. He played, probably the last 25% of the season. Wasn't fully healthy, just toughed it out. And, he looks pretty much 100%, so that's really going to help. We've brought in a few new receivers as well. We have the ever competitive and productive Anquan Bolden, who you can count on.
Right.
And we've got a couple young guys that we feel pretty good about. So we really feel pretty good about that group this year. They had a good spring.
Now, who was your number one draft pick this year?
Our number one draft pick was Jimmy Ward, who probably plays some nickel and safety for us on the defensive side. But we had a good draft.
Good.
Yep.
And of course, when you get back now, mini camps will be starting, and then it's full time.
Oh, there's no question. When you guys were talking about the high school programs are getting ready to get going here, and we are too, and it's that time of year. Spending a lot of time hanging out at the lake, playing some golf, and spending some great family time right now because July 16th when we get back, it's 24/7 till the end of the season, till that final bell rings. So this is an important time of the year to spend a lot of quality time, and we love coming down here to East Tennessee, down in Roane County. We do it every year. It's a great time, fellas, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, it's a great time for the family to get together, and but once we get going, once training camp kicks off, it's a marathon, and whether you're in high school, college or pro. That time's right around the corner. So we're very excited about it. But at the same time, you got to enjoy this time with the family and the laid-back quality time, recharging the batteries, because the battery better be full when that season starts.
Coach, what makes high school football so unique in California? I mean, they probably have the top 3 to 5 quarterbacks in the country, the wide receivers. What makes high school football so much different in California?
Yeah, that's a great question, Ron. Every state kind of has its own identity, and having recruited nationally, Florida, Texas, California, in the Northeast, Tennessee, the Southeast. The thing I'd say that makes California a little different is, you got a couple different population groups. Los Angeles population group, where they're putting out a lot of really good talent. But I'd say, the year-round practice, your 7-on-7 camps that go on year-round, and it's there's a lot of hotbeds in California and a lot of people to pull from.
So just the population difference.
That's definitely one part of it, and but I also think the thing that I've noticed that was rather unique was just the year-round. Probably because of the weather, a lot of teams will have the opportunity to practice year-round or get a little 7-on-7 going on a lot of the year. So, but it's an interesting question, and every part of the country is unique. Texas, very unique. The Southeast, very unique. Florida, So.
So is there a difference? Is there a difference in players after they've gone to college? Are regionalized? In other words, are the quarterbacks still that much better from California if they make it to the pros than a quarterback from Florida, or is that something that's even measurable?
No, I don't think so. I think a player's a player, but it's just the culture of football. How does, like for example, in Texas, a lot of times one of their periods of school will be football practice. You just don't find that. Right. It's just that culture in each particular area. And in California, a lot of that football culture's been around the passing game, and those 7-on-7 leagues would pop up, and guys are playing year round and really focusing on one thing, which can be a good thing, and sometimes it's they should be playing more sports, But it's unique. But when they all get populated together, the cream rises to the top.
Coach, appreciate you coming by. I know you're busy, but it's it's always nice to share folks with with the folks around here, and certainly from Roane County. We count you as one of us now, even though it's a temporary thing, but you're one of us.
Well, thanks, Ron, and appreciate that. And we'll be coming. We'll have a home here for a long time. Roane County is very important to our family. Like I said, my wife and the Pucketts and Kingston and all the fine people we've met here. So it's been a great time being on the show, right, Gregory?
Yeah.
Gregory,
absolutely.
Guys, thanks for being here. We hope that some of your buddies saw you on the web out through there. So thanks for being here, and we're going to have a little float riding contest before you leave. Now we'll check you out. No problem. I like your spirit. Huh?
Yes.
Give me your best. Give me your best look there, buddy.
I am.
There you go.
I can stay on.
Who's gonna win? You or Ron?
Me.
Oh, I like it.
We got the competitive spirit.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Folks, see you back here next week in the locker room. Have a great week.